Roblox Inkgame is one of those Roblox games that you look at now and just go, man, what in the world just happened? I was genuinely shocked at how the game that once came on top of the platform suddenly lost everything in a matter of weeks. It's just crazy that this is one of those games that didn't have any brain rots or crazy pay-to-win features. It had things you genuinely had to grind for, like the dash and power classes. In truth, it's more than just repetitiveness or because of how Squid Game has ended, because games like Attack on Titan Revolution or Bloxfruit also came from a show or anime, but they never truly died as fast as Inkgame did. The game itself died due to many other factors, which we will be speaking about later in the video. Because let's be honest, the fact that Inkgame once had nearly 1 million players in concurrent user suddenly dropped all the way under 10,000 is literally not normal at all. If you played Inkgame when it first blew up, you already know how crazy it was back then. Full servers non-stop, people yelling in chat, insane clutch moments, last man standing rounds that actually had you sweating. It wasn't just another Squid Game clone that you played once and forgot about. It felt somewhat different. Unlike those Squid Game clones, Inkgame was actually special for a moment. It felt like the Squid Game experience on Roblox that people had been waiting for. Every lobby was full. You'd hop servers and still get tossed into packed matches instantly. Creators were farming it for content, TikTok clips were everywhere, and people weren't just playing one round and leaving. It had that one more game addiction that Roblox games dream of having. And the reason it worked so well at first is because it didn't treat Squid Game like a trend at all. Most Squid Game Roblox games are just red light, green light, tug of war, glass bridge, boom, done. Inkgames actually added their own spin-offs on top of it. Powers changed how you played. Upgrades gave you something to grind for. Winning didn't just feel lucky, it felt earned because you slowly built your account. Even losing didn't feel that bad because you were still progressing. That sense of progression is what kept people locked in. But once the issues started showing, they showed fast. Cheating was probably the first main issue. At the start, you'd hear rumors like, "Nah bro, I think that guy was hacking." But eventually, it stopped being rumors. You'd straight up see people teleporting, zooming across the map, auto-winning rounds, insta-killing players, doing stuff that wasn't even subtle. And when that happens in a competitive survival game, it kills the vibe immediately. There's nothing more annoying than grinding for upgrades, playing smart, surviving rounds, just to get wiped by some dude flying at the final game of Sky Squid. Once players feel like the game isn't fair, they slowly leave the game even if they keep logging in for a bit.
I was playing Inkgame and this happened. Wait, what? Of course, another day, another hacker. The hacker is able to teleport to random people and attack them. If I want to survive this round, I need strategy. I was locking in until the hacker came over and started sniffing me. Oh, come on, man. Do I really smell that bad? After securing a quick victory, it was best I reported the hacker. Not like it's going to do much anyways.
And the thing is, even without exploiters, balance was already starting to feel off. Inkgame slowly leaned harder and harder into pay to win without really admitting it. Some of the strongest upgrades, powers, and advantages were locked behind Robux or insane grinding walls. And yeah, grinding is fine. Roblox players are used to grinding. But when the grind feels intentionally ridiculous just to push people towards spending money, players can smell that instantly. It stops feeling rewarding and starts feeling manipulative. The Playable Guards update is probably the perfect example of everything that went wrong with Inkgame. This update was hyped for months. People were genuinely excited. Guards were supposed to change everything. New perspective, new gameplay, new control over matches. People were imagining guards with unique mechanics, meaningful roles throughout the game, maybe even different strategies that would shake up how rounds played out. Instead, what we got felt half-baked at best. First of all, the pricing was insane. Calling something permanent and then slapping a 799 Robux price tag on it already feels rough. But what made it worse is that it didn't even feel permanent. Guards only appear in certain rounds or limited situations, so people paid real money just to occasionally play the role they bought. That alone made a lot of players feel scammed. And if you were free to play, forget it. Paying hundreds of millions of in-game currency just to try guards for one match is actually wild. That's not a grind, that's a wall. And upgrading guards fully costs billions. That's not even aimed at normal players anymore. That's aimed at whales or people who literally do nothing but grind Inkgame all day. I've seen people defend this by saying, well, it's endgame content. But that excuse only works if the endgame is actually fun and rewarding. Playing guard didn't feel worth it. The money you make back as a free-to-play guard is laughable unless you're exploiting or min-maxing like crazy. So what's the incentive? You grind forever, finally get to try it, and then realize it's not even that enjoyable. That's how you lose players permanently.
Playing as a guard is not fun in Inkgame. I see everyone saying it's the best update, and I know I can't be the only one who thinks playing as a guard is a big waste of Robux. You gotta spend 800 Robux to be a default guard, not even including thousands more for the higher tiers, only for 3 rounds of gameplay where you're just standing around half the time. There's also thousands of more Robux they want for guns and attachments. Do you guys think being a guard is worth it?
Another thing that really damaged Inkgame is how updates started feeling disconnected from what the community actually wanted. It's not that the devs completely abandoned the game. They didn't. They pushed patches, fixed bugs, adjusted performance, and teased future systems like a pity mechanic. But the priorities fell off. Big core issues like the broken economy, outdated anti-cheat, unfair matchmaking, and massive pay-to-win gaps kept getting sidelined. Instead, updates leaned toward monetized features or smaller tweaks that didn't really fix the underlying frustration players were feeling. The pity system rumor is a good example of this weird love and hate relationship the community now has. On paper, a pity system sounds great, especially for free-to-play players who've been rolling endlessly with nothing to show for it. But the problem is trust. Inkgame promised a lot before and didn't deliver properly. Playable guards were hyped as something game-changing, and what we got was underwhelming. So now, even when the devs tease something good, players are skeptical. And honestly, I don't blame them.
What really hurts Inkgame isn't just bad updates or monetization. The players are also affecting the game itself. New players join in and they have to face the sweatiest lobbies with full maxed out upgrades and powers. On top of that, people in Inkgame are seriously toxic. You join a lobby and the chat is filled with arguments comparing who's better or who's in the wrong. It's just messed up for any game. Sure, it's more competitive in a way, but to be honest, it feels more stressful for any person to deal with. These issues combined just makes Inkgame one of the worst experiences ever, especially for rookies. Inkgame obviously isn't dead yet, but it's definitely bleeding out. There's still a core fan base, still creators who care, still players who genuinely want it to succeed. And the fact that the developers admitted the playable guards update wasn't good is actually a positive sign. That level of transparency is rare on Roblox, and it shows they're at least listening. Promising to rebalance guards, add more tasks, make them more fun between rounds, and reduce frustration is the right direction. But talk alone won't save Inkgame. The comeback would require real, painful changes. Prices need to come down. The gap between paying and free-to-play players needs to shrink, not worsen. Anti-cheat needs a serious fix. And updates need to feel meaningful, not rushed, not designed around squeezing wallets, but designed around making the game fun again. Right now, Inkgame feels like a warning sign more than anything. A reminder that even a top-tier Roblox game can fall apart if greed, imbalance, and broken trust creep in. It had everything going for it, and whether Inkgame becomes a comeback story or another forgotten Roblox story depends entirely on what happens next. Because players have already started asking the scariest question: who even plays this anymore? And if you guys enjoyed this video so far, be sure to subscribe to the channel and let me know down in the comments below whether you still play Inkgame or not. As always, I'll see you in the next one.